Hello everybody and welcome back to Upton Farm. This is episode number 2 and I can thankfully tell you that I've been sent the updated version of this particular map by the creator, Lancyboi. Thank you so much to him. Basically it was the work in progress version before, as we knew, and this is the updated version. So I think pretty much everything, if not everything, has now been fixed, including the trigger back here, which didn't seem to exist before, but now it does. I was struggling at the end of the previous episode to fill up the trailer. I think that it actually wasn't there at all, but that's what happens in work in progress. Not everything can be done in one go. Now before we leave this yard, that way over there, we're going to go this way because there is actually an area which we haven't fully discovered. So if we just go up here, you'll see that we have a number of pieces of equipment up here. We've got a direct drill, windrower and a cultivator just there. Obviously a few storage sheds, also the fertilizer refill point, and I think that is fuel, red diesel I would guess. So yeah, nice little area in here, and seed actually, there is a seed refill point there too. So just another area to discover on the fantastic Upton Farm. So a few things have changed since episode number 1. Obviously this is the interactive series, which means that we are doing everything which the majority of my audience want me to do. The winning vote for this episode is to do baling, which makes perfect sense because obviously we've got field number 31 which needs to be baled. The only issue is we need to be able to afford the baler. There's always a catch. Yes, so what we're going to do is obviously sell this trailer load and then we need to try and afford the big baler. Now we're not actually going to be using the Heston baler on the west coast anymore, I don't think, because I got sent a message from somebody saying that it isn't fully seasons compatible. Now whether or not that's true, it still made me think about something, and that was the use of the baler. I did have a good think about what we're going to do in the west coast, and obviously we need to be able to do some bale wrapping as well. So ideally I need to have a baler which can wrap at the same time. We do actually start off with a wrapper, but it's quite time consuming doing that afterwards if we've already got a baler which can do it. So then I thought, well, this map isn't even running seasons, at least we're not running seasons, so maybe if I use the Heston baler on here, that would avoid any problems, even if it does work with seasons. Now obviously I haven't tried it myself, but just because I thought of the point of wrapping, it did really make me rethink which map we should use it on. So yeah, I'm hoping to buy it today, provided we can afford it. That is the issue. Being able to afford it is very tough. But yeah, it shouldn't be too hard, you wouldn't have thought. It is quite expensive, so that is the issue. Now the previous load of the barley we actually sold straight away over at the Upton sell point. There is the field in question, which we're going to be baling today. Which was, yeah, it was a good idea, selling it straight off. Then I went back to the farm to try and get the rest of the barley, but obviously couldn't do. But that is now sorted. So yeah, once this is sold, all of the barley will have gone. But I don't really hold out too many hopes for the amount we're going to get for this. It's not really worth a great deal. The sell point is back here. And if I remember correctly, £95,000 was the price of the baler. I hope it wasn't, but I really do think it was. It's just a figure that comes to mind. Okay, I need the handbrake mod. I really do. I've been putting it off. Oh, by the way, I have now got the manual attaching mod reinstalled. So that should please a number of people. Let's just go into here. Baling technology. You can see we've got the Kuhn balers here. I was going to buy them for here, like I say, but then I think this one just hit the £135,000 one. That is going to be best for the west coast. Now this is the Heston baler, and it is actually £90,500, so slightly less than I thought, but still very expensive. You can get it as a Fendt, a Massey Ferguson, or a New Holland. We'll be sticking with Massey Ferguson, but obviously at the moment we can't afford it. So we're going to have to try and either find something to sell in the way of a cereal type, crop type, or a machine. But I really don't want to be selling machinery, unless of course there is something which we've got duplicate numbers of, which we might do, considering I've just found those other pieces of equipment. Maybe we have got two of one thing, which would be very useful to us. All we can do is check. So let's just go back to the other farm. I don't think we need to stop off at this field unless we take the combine harvester back with us, which might not be a bad idea. However, that would be turning off almost straight away to be parked over at the pig farm. So yeah, I think we'll leave it. We'll leave it for the time being. Now, just to clarify, this is the interactive series, not the realistic series, so obviously some of the things, like the driving, will be a bit erratic, just because I'm trying to get stuff done quickly, so that we can get enough stuff done in each episode, so that we can have a vote for the next job. If I was to go very slowly, then we might not be able to have a vote every time, and obviously that would stop it from being interactive. So yeah, trying to get stuff done. But it's not going to be like really unrealistic. I'll just drive as I would do if I was playing on my own with nobody watching. So yeah, hopefully it turns out okay. Now I think our turning is actually up here. I always get confused at this junction. I think it's up here. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to have to use the 1038 just over there to do the baling with. It's the tractor with the most power. It just makes sense because obviously then we're not going to be struggling to climb a hill and power a baler at the same time. And actually I don't think we'd have another tractor which can power it except for maybe the Massey Ferguson 240. So yeah, that's the one for us. Ah yes, manual attach. There we go. And yes, for all of you who are now scratching your head thinking, what? The 240? Yes, it was a joke. Here is the 240. Yep, that's not going to be able to power the baler. Just to clarify. Okay, so what we're going to do is put this away in this shed over here. Wow, I did leave the trailer at a bit of a angle there. Oh well, we'll be coming back to it later. I'll just put the front loader down. And what we can do is jump into here. The 1038 Vario, which actually has a fairly, yeah, not a very tight turning circle weirdly, but it should be fine. And we're going to go over to the store and yeah, sell something so we can afford the baler. Should be fairly easy to do. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to sell the cultivator which we just discovered. I'm hoping that's going to give us enough money. Very, very close, but not enough. Okay, so in that case, what we're going to have to do is just try and locate something else we have duplicate numbers of. The trailer. The trailer is duplicated. We don't need two trailers. So that can go. That way as well, we're always using a modded trailer. That one we've just been using is perfect. We don't need to have two. So where is it? There it is. Now this is not going to become a habit. We're not going to keep selling stuff just so we can buy something else. If we genuinely can't buy it, we just can't do the job. But a baler is a bit of a priority. And in fact, we are going to be buying something else today as well. We're going to be buying, just get that hitched on, a bale trailer. It should be in here. Another one by CD Models, and hopefully it's going to turn out to be incredibly useful. Here we go. The Dooley, I think it's pronounced like that. Yeah, how expensive? 12,500. That's okay. Yeah, so we'll just keep it standard. I was going to keep no krills because obviously they're nice, but it's just not 100% necessary for square bales. If you've got good straps, you don't need to keep them on. They're more for round. So just thinking about it, maybe we should take another tractor as well for the cultivator. Probably got it the wrong way around actually. Maybe this tractor would have been better on the trailer, but it's not like it's powering it, so it should be fine. So if we should go through here. Oh, back window view. It's not actually a very big cultivator at all. It's probably our longest but narrowest. When we have subsoilers, power harrows, direct drills and all that kind of stuff, it just seems a bit bizarre keeping multiple numbers. Actually, that is a fair point. The direct drill just there probably isn't required either, since we already have one. So I'm not going to just go selling it for the sake of it, but if we ever don't require it, if it's just going to sit there the whole time, we might as well convert it into money. So here we go. This is indeed the Fendt farm. Everything is Fendt, with the exception of a couple of Massey Fergusons and the JCB skid steer. And yes, the west coast is definitely not going to be Fendt. That's going to be changed over. We started off with Fendt, but yeah, way too many objections to that just because of us having Fendt on here. So I will be turning that into John Deere and something else. So off we go. I'm getting used to the way to go now as well. I don't have to keep checking the map. Eventually, it'll just be dead easy. I'll know exactly where to go every time. It's just the initial startup period, the first couple of weeks, I have to keep checking the map to see where to go. And actually, this is a pretty big map, so it may take a bit longer. But it's definitely left from here. And that is definitely a stop sign. We must stop first of all. Oh, terrible. That was full lock. That is strange actually, because it's a really decent mod. But for some reason, the steering is, well, it's almost non-existent. Which is a real shame. So, if the modder is watching, I love your mod, but yeah, that needs sorting out because it's obviously fairly hard to drive with it like this. I didn't think it was quite so unresponsive. I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard for a modder to adjust that. So yeah, where we're going to is the store to replace these two pieces of equipment with the big baler. I'm actually really looking forward to using the big baler again. It's been a while. Luckily, we've already got a tractor capable of moving bales, and we've also got the fork as well. So that's all good. No more expense there. Just thinking about it, one thing we may require is a rear weight for the tractor following us, because that's the one which is going to be moving the bales. So yeah, it probably would struggle with 2 Heston bales. Don't know if you can stack them 3 high in one go. All we can do is wait and see. Today is the day we're going to be doing it. And we must get the combine harvester moved. It can't stay there. This is actually going to turn out really well because we've actually got the subsoiler still here, and one of the tractors otherwise would be going back empty. So we'll take the baler and the Fendt can take the subsoiler with hopefully a weight on as well. We may have to initially put the weight on the front just to get it back to where we want it. There we go. So that's that done. We should probably try and sell it straight away. It's a good price, very good. Oh, autosave. It's a mod which I'm going to keep on. It would seem a bit ridiculous getting rid of it. I'm going to jump out, get that detached as well. Good. So now we have a bit of extra money. First things first, we'll buy the weight. It doesn't have to be very big, although it probably wants to be a little bit more fancy than an oil drum filled with concrete. So maybe an AGCO weight, 1.1 tons. That is quite heavy actually. But that does sound about right. There we go. We'll put it on the front, we'll put the cultivator subsoiler on the back. Brilliant. Okay, so that's sorted. Now for the big baler. £114,000 remaining, which should still leave us with a fairly decent amount of money. Oh, and that of course. So, first things first, this. £23,000 remaining. Once we've bought the trailer, it's going to be considerably less, but at least we won't be in debt. Debt is something which I really must avoid from now on. Okay, so there we go. Perfect, we may have to just reverse first of all. But I think that size for the tractor versus baler is just right. It looks like the exact right scale for it. So before we leave, I'll just get this all set up on follow me. And I suppose if we really wanted to, we could actually get the cultivator going today in this field, but I just don't think it's going to be time effective, considering we don't actually know what this field is going to be next. It could be just direct drilled. So yeah, it might be a bit of a bad idea to do that. Anyway, the combine harvester, that needs to be packed up. That is the priority. Go on then, Fendt, you go over here. I'm now going to sort this combine out, and then I'll show you the return to the farm in a second. We're ready to go. Let's get those beacons on and we'll go up to the pig farm, which should be just up here. I don't know when we're going to be doing the next harvest. Obviously it comes down to you, so in fact this is probably a good time for you to vote for the next job. It should be on the screen, not necessarily straight away. There should be an eye at the top right hand side of the screen, so if you click on that you'll be able to see the options. And well, the thing is, no farm is really capable of having a combine this size, but there's nothing we can really do about it unless we left it in a field, but that would be a bit of a bad idea. Mainly security. Now I won't keep it in the pit, that would seem a bit strange. We'll put it in a barn behind us, but that does mean reversing it. Oh joy. I can't reverse these things that well. May have to just straighten up here. There we go. Sorted. So, with that done, it means we can now do the baling. Finally! The job which everybody wanted to see. First things first, let's unfold the baler. We'll go up to the top of here, so we're not starting halfway through. It's quite a fast tractor. Okay, so I have to just rearrange this thing. Can't turn. And it begins. Lots of power, which means we can do it at speed. So we are done, which means that we can now unload the final one bale, maybe two. Yeah, one bale, which just tipped over unfortunately. It's showing 93%, but obviously you have to complete that bale to be able to remove it. So, we'll just fold things up here. They can all go back to the yard. We're then going to return with, well, that tractor there behind us, and of course the trailer. So I think that is probably the Fendt 1038 job done for today. How many bales have we just produced? It actually looks very impressive. 12. That's more than the trailer, I would have thought. That is pretty good, considering the area which we did. And yeah, this looks a bit too heavy for this tractor, but not to worry. It's only going back to the yard. So, yep, I'll see you in a second. This is where it could get a bit trickier. Going around the corner and the tightest area, just here. It's a little bit troublesome, but clearly it is possible, just about. So yeah, we'll just put it into here, I think. Drive straight through, and after that, that will be this job done. So all that's left to do now is to take the subsoiler off and to replace it with the trailer, which we don't actually own at the moment. So we've got quite a good collection of different implements in here. We probably don't need quite so many cultivators and subsoilers, but not to worry, it's fine. So we'll drop this off here, and I think we'll keep the front weight on the front until we've got the trailer all sorted out. But we do actually need to have the attachment, mustn't forget it. Otherwise, that would be a bit of a wasted journey. Is there going to be a... yeah. Okay, change of plan. We're going to have to take another vehicle. The 240. It's probably not going to be able to take the weight. Although, I don't know. No, it probably can't mount 1.1 tons on its 3-point linkage. I doubt it. Well, I have just about managed to get it onto there without having any issues with the front weight. It was really tight though, and not something I'd recommend. Certainly nothing I'd do in the realistic series. But yeah, it's all good. All we have to do now is buy the trailer, load the trailer up, and then try and find a place to stack the bales. I'm hoping to stack them. I don't really want to sell them. Not yet anyway. Maybe at a later date. Okay, so here we are over at the store. I think buying any kind of modifications would be a bit of a waste of money, so it can all stay standard. It's going to be perfectly good enough for us. I mean, that is perfectly good enough. There is no reason why we couldn't stack certainly 2 high, hopefully 3. It should be very useful. Let's just get it hitched on. You can see the hydraulic hoses have gone roughly into the tractor. So it should be a really decent trailer for us. Looks very nice. Irish, I believe. Single axle. I just hope that the stand is going to be reliable enough. I don't really want it tilting forwards, but it should be fine. We'll just put it over here. And this is of course going to be a time-lapse because there's nothing like pressure when you're doing a video of stacking bales without it being time-lapsed. So we'll just take it off. There we go. You can see the hoses all... you watch them? Look at that. They take themselves off and put themselves in the holder. Nice work. Right, so before I forget also, we've got this weight on the front. So that needs to come off and it needs to go onto the back obviously. And that should aid us when it comes to picking up maybe 3 at a time. I might do 3. I'm hoping to. So yeah, let it begin. Well, there it is all done. Hopefully you agreed that that was the best way of stacking it. I did start off doing 3 high all the way around, but obviously there wasn't enough bales, and also the stability was severely compromised by doing it that way. So this is, I think, the most stable way, despite this trailer still being a little bit overloaded, probably quite a bit overloaded actually, mainly because it's a single axle trailer. So yeah, there we go. What we're going to do is take it back to the yard, but I'm not going to take them off because I don't have a clue where to put them. So if you can suggest some areas, then that would be brilliant. And then yeah, we'll be able to, in the next episode, hopefully, take them off in the designated area. It may be a little bit tricky just to pull out of certain junctions just because of the sheer weight, but I'm hoping it's going to be stable enough. It actually looks to be riding very well. A little bit rocky, but yeah, it's very tall and these bales are very heavy. Yeah, it's actually doing a very good job. And I'm driving a bit like a maniac here. Maybe, thinking about it, the other farm is not the best place to put them. Since they're bales, they're going to be used for animals. So this might be the sensible place to put them in here. I'll reverse them down just because it may be a bit tricky to turn around when we get in there. And then I think we'll just leave them either just under cover or outside of a barn. You can tell that trailer is heavy just by the way the physics are reacting. Farming Simulator actually is pretty good when it comes to the weight of things. The way physics work with weight. It's pretty decent. Whoa, oh, that is some deep mud there. And a tree. And a gate. So yeah, it's quite a tight yard. But we're in. Just about. And it would appear this is a very good yard to actually store the entire thing in. So if I reverse it into here, it can stay in its position until I've heard otherwise. Let's just hope there isn't an accidental bale trigger sell point here. There shouldn't be. It's just there is some straw about, so it just raises concerns, but no, it's all very good. Right, so thank you so much for watching. Once again, a big thank you to Lancyboi for sending me the updated version. Brilliant stuff, not seen any glitches today. So that is all perfect. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.